Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel, My Vagabond Style. I'm Debbie, and today I thought I'd work in my color cube with a color palette. And if you're not familiar with what that is Sarah Renee Clark sells these color palettes. There's 500 cards, 250 in each cube, and they're just different palette cards that you can use to be inspired. And on the back side, they've got like the lighter colors to it, but I'm using this color here, and it's basically just different pictures. Pull out a couple. They've got different pictures, and they pull out the colors for you to, be inspired by. I really thought this one was a nice one. We are going to be headed to the beach soon, and that kind of spoke to me. So I picked out a few colors that were close. They are not spot on, but they're close. I can either use these colors as is, or because I don't have this lighter color here, and this one's brighter than this one. This one's, I think, close. I could mix it. So I took the gray here because I thought the gray, not the gray, I took this gray here. The other one was a metallic gray that actually matched this. So what I want to do is I want to create a background and use this color palette, and maybe even the images that go on top of it, I might be inspired by these colors as well. This is the one I did the other day, and I'll link this video at the end of this video so that you can click on it if you want to go watch this one. But today I'm going to go ahead and get the color down and do some other elements on it, and then maybe we'll work on a collage. We'll see how much time it takes. So what I did was I took this bright green right here, this crazy green, and took the gray and I mixed it together, and I came out with a pretty darn close match to this one. I think if I added just a little bit of blue to it, it would be perfect, but I'm not going for perfect, just a little different. I wanted a lighter shade, so I think we're good with that. And then for the darker one, I could maybe just add a little less of the gray. So I'm just going to smear some paint on here and see where it goes, you guys. That's kind of the way I roll with these. You can use a sponge brush, you can use a credit card to smear the paint, kind of whatever you'd like. And, if you don't end up putting all these different colors on there, that's okay. Let's look at this one real quick and see how crazy it is, because I feel like it's probably a bit different than this one, but let's see. It's actually not bad. I'm going to go with it. Let's just use it as is. If I don't have to mix it, all the better. Let me put the color palette right here. And this is just relaxing. I really enjoy this part of it. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of wax paper underneath here just because I don't want to get it everywhere. All right, let's get another color down. All right, so I've got the lightest green and the darkest green, and then we need maybe a little bit of a medium green. So let me wipe this off a little bit. And I can use these painted papers for something else too, so I don't throw those away. Let's see, so we're going to use just a little bit of this. Okay, so that's darker than that one, which is great. And I could even load up this brush and put a little bit of the dark. So I have a little bit of the dark on my brush and a medium, just kind of a lot of the different colors together. And that turns out kind of fun. So let's see, we have the sand color still to work with, and we have the kind of silver. So I have a different brush here. I'm going to switch because these are so light. Shake up my paint a little bit. So there's that one, and then we've got this silver. I don't think I've ever used this one before. Oh yeah, I have. Where do we want that? Right here. Okay. And you know, I don't have to do lines. Like you could do circles or whatever you want. Probably should have wet that brush first. It's pretty stiff. There it goes. So we could even do like some circles. That's really light. That's okay. Let's put a little bit of this here. I might go back with maybe the other gray. This one is so translucent. Maybe let's wipe this brush off. I'm thinking maybe if I added a little bit of this other gray to it. Maybe it wouldn't be so see-through. Okay. Just trying to get a little paint down, that's all, with my colors. Now, this is kind of like the awkward teen stages. You know, it's not fully developed and a bit immature right now. But you have to trust the process that it's going to be okay, you guys. So you just, yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to put one more, like, I'd like this to dry a little bit. Let me let this dry. I want a little bit more of this color on here, the lighter color. So give me just a second. Okay, I think that's dry enough for right now. I'm just trying to get a little bit of something else on there. All right. So now that I've got this on here, I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to talk a little bit about other elements that you can put on here. A lot of times you'll see me use vintage images. Sorry, my chair squeaks. Vintage images, but you don't have to. Like if you've got some magazines that maybe some neighbors have recently given you, and you want to try to use some of those, Absolutely. In fact, on my trip, I'm going to take these magazines that my friend gave me. Thank you, Mary. I am going to fussy cut on the plane. Hopefully. I bought these little scissors. They're children's scissors with a little short end. Let's see if they let me take those through. But I would like it if they did, because we have an 8-hour flight. So I really would like to sit there and fussy cut for 8 hours. That's what I want to do. They'll be like, okay, who's the weird lady sitting in row 14 cutting up newspapers or cutting up magazines? That would be me. I was looking through these, and this Better Homes and Garden actually is about color, the power of color. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Now, when I pulled this out, it's actually pretty close to this. But what I was looking for, I pulled this off. I really want to use like some textured images. So I thought this would be perfect because it's got our light color and it's got the other color and lots of texture. So what I will do with that is probably just, let me cut this. So we'll hold on to that one. I also really liked this bubble. I'm going to cut this bubble out. I think it's a glass bubble, like a sea. I don't know what they call those. The floaters, the things that float. You guys, I don't know what they're called. Help me. I think they were used to keep the nets afloat for the fishermen. So look at that. That like goes so good. I also really like this area right here. So while this is drawing, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I harvest a magazine. So what I like to do is, if I cut something out and use something, a lot of times on the back side of an image will be an interesting texture. So I want to save it. Like this one, look at this. The brick wall. I really like that. So I just saved it. Here's some tile floor. That's pretty cool. What else? I don't even know what this was from, but I liked it. And just different patterns and textures. That one's really cool. Magazines that show like different fabrics and stuff are awesome. Just kind of go through a few of these. And I will use these little bits and pieces. Look at this one. We can use that one. Yeah, let's use that. This is another good one. I'm keeping those out for us right now. This was like some rugs they sold. Got that out of some magazine, Home Decor. This was like a relic of some sort in a National Geographic. Fashion magazine. That's pretty cool. That would even work in this one. So it's really handy to have a lot of this kind of stuff just in your little arsenal. So think about that as you are, that's good too. Think about that as you're cutting things out of magazines. You know, what's on the back, or what else is on this ad? Here's another makeup palette. And then sometimes, like if I'm using it, I'll cut it into a certain shape. And if you don't have anything cut out yet, just start. Keep a little file folder. See, I don't keep it in anything fancy. I just throw it in one of these so I can kind of see what's in it. I try to have the images all facing up so that I can kind of get in there and dig around a little bit. But that's what I like to do. Okay, so hopefully I'm successful and get to take my little scissors on board, because I would absolutely love that. Let me get that put to the side here. I'm going to use some of these and just kind of put them down. And if I think it's a little large for that, I can always just cut it a little smaller. That's still wet, but that's okay. And then I'll just kind of glue stick it on, or art glitter glue it, one or the other, or both. And then just start putting them down. Let's see, I do like this texture right here. It's hair color. I'll save that for later. Maybe I want to do like an oblong kind of circle here. And again, I have no idea what I'm going to use this for, and honestly, I don't really care what's on here. It's more about the color and texture. And maybe I want to cut this a little differently. But just, you know, have a little play with it, because a lot of this you aren't even going to see in the end. Oh, I got to put this in here for sure. I'm hoping that will show somehow, but you never know. This little mixed media journal has a edge here, perforated edge. And I'm going to use glitter glue on this one. And that's why I don't go to the end, so I can tear it out if I want. I guess. I don't know. I just started doing it that way, and that's the way I continue to do it. If you wanted a fine definition on the end, you could put some thin, like painter's tape right here, and then you'd get a nice crisp line on the end, which would be nice. And let's put this on here too. I kind of want to break it up just because I'd like some of it to show at some point. So we'll break it up. A lot of times I don't put this much on here, but I think because I'm showing you guys, I'm putting a little more on it than I normally would. Also, before I get too far into covering this up, a lot of times I'll use washi tape. So I picked out this washi tape that had some close colors to it, and let's just try a little bit of that on here. And also, once I get my image down, I can come back and put whatever I want in there. Okay, we'll do one more. And then I want to talk to you guys real quick about like what we put on this one versus what we put on the other one. Okay, so I think this is a great base. I'm going to hold it up a little bit closer for you. We've used some magazine images. We used some washi, different colors. We used a brush on this one. You can use a credit card if you want. On this one, I can't remember if I used a credit card or not, but this one, I know I used a brush on as well. And we had some textured kind of paper here, and we also used a little bit of material, of scrap of material. And on this one, I had used some of these King Art gel sticks that I got off of Amazon. I really like these. That's what these marks are right here. We also used like a lid of something and put paint around the edge and used it to make these edges here. So I haven't used any stencils in these, but you could absolutely use stencils with paint or ink, anything like that. And so now I feel like maybe we should go ahead and finish this one off. I had one of my subscribers said that she really was inspired by the background, but would like to see, you know, more of a finished product. So, okay, you guys, so I'm going to bring in my platter of images. I've been sorting through these the last few weeks, you know, doing some of my collages and stuff, and that's why I'm really excited to be able to take those magazines on the plane and just sit there and cut, because, you know, after a while you're still looking at the same images over and over. So, but what I did like, I kind of looked through these, and let me give you two examples of how different you could make this background. So I liked her, and I thought, you know, here's an affair of the heart from Long Beach. It was the beach, and she looks like she's thinking of some happy memory there. So I kind of thought they went together. And then I could put like this pretty, somehow work the flower in there too. I like how that is. Your eye kind of goes in that direction. So you could do that, and that definitely looks like one of my collages for sure. And then I also liked this one. The birds here and a butterfly. And then I thought I could go around them and kind of, you know, darken the outline of the images. But I think for today, I'm going to go with this one. I know that if you've been following my channel, like the other one totally looks more like what I would choose. But I'm mixing it up today, you guys. I am mixing it up. So tell me which one you would have went. Leave me a comment. Let me know if I chose the one you liked. I did cover up my washi here. See, that's the thing. You don't know what you're going to end up covering up. And that's okay, because it's all part of the process. And I can always go back in and add a little more washi tape if I want. Put the butterfly right about there. And then if I wanted to put a little saying, I could put a saying there. A sentiment of some sort. I can also go back with some of these other colors here. It's not really adding a whole lot because the color is matching so well. These, you know, they'll dry. So that's the good part about those color sticks. I like to go back over a lot of times with my Stabilo. You can get these at the craft store. Stabilo, paper, glass, plastic, metal, and then they are water soluble. So you can go around them and then just get a little water on your brush. Let's see what that looks like before I go any farther. I kind of like the messy look of it. Yeah, I do like that. I'm going to continue on with that. So don't be afraid to take your paints out. I mean, those acrylic paints are cheap. Get them on sale at Michael's when they have like a whole collection of them together. You don't need expensive paints for this, which is way cool. And I like using what I have. I like using the magazine images as texture. I also like to cut things out. Like I use my snippet tool on, I have Microsoft on Windows. I think that's where the application came from. It's a snip app. And I use that. I can edit on that to brighten the colors or whatever. And I do enjoy using that one. Let's see if I can draw a little bit of antenna coming off here. Just a little bit. You probably can't even see that on your screen, but I can. I can see it. So let's do just a little bit on the back end of the butterfly here. Just wet this little brush here. So that one's not as defined, but I'm good with that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video and that you give this a try. I will, like I said, put on the end here a suggested video, which will be the one that I did with the other color palette challenge, this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I sure did. I'm in no way an expert, but I hope you did have a good time here, and thanks for stopping by.